What's going on here, people? Are we going live? It's a wake-up call. Let's go. Welcome to the Transfer Corner and Mufc Realist TV. This is Tuesday, and we do have a cracking show for you. There is have a lot of people tuning in. I don't know what you're drinking, tea, coffee, your choice of beverage, but we have a scintillating panel. We're talking about, of course, our debutant in the house. Some people call him Manchester United Casemiro, or some people call him Sheik Jassim. How are you doing, Cass? You're on mute, buddy.
No, I'm mute. Yeah, my bad. I'm doing all right. You said coffees and teas, and I was thinking, yeah, I've got my one right here. You can't.
Oh, well,
No matter how hot it is, if you're anything remotely English in any form, shape, or way, it doesn't matter how hot, you will make time for some tea.
100%. We also have Jarvis Cocker in the house. How are you doing? And you're on mute, my buddy. No, you're not on mute.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Great to have Cass on the show. Finally, I've been sending you messages for a long time, but now you finally had the time. So good to have you on board, mate.
Wicked. We're gonna take a 10 seconds break. This is a perfect opportunity for you guys that's watching, tuning in. Smash that hit like button. It's free of charge. If you're on diet, you're gonna burn extra calories because it's only take a few punches away. But we have a special message from Eric Ten Hag, and see you in 10 seconds, mate.
Hello and welcome to Mufc Realist TV. I'm a member of this channel, but you should subscribe or in this show, we're gonna look a cow in the ass. Let's go.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
En welkom. Dit is mijn home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
And boy, did we achieve success this season. And welcome a debutant to MUC Realist TV. It's a pleasure to have one of the YouTube's hardest working content creator out there next to myself as well. Cass, how are you doing, sir?
You're being too kind. You're being way too kind, but that was funny. Did you make that?
Yes, I did.
Did you make that? That's creative. That is actually funny.
I'm mental. I'm very mental, very creative, yeah. If you do like a profiling test on me, I'm very yellow. If you've done all these color graphing, like personality tests, you know, I'm like 95% yellow. That's like a visionary, creative, motherfucking crazy. Like, you know,
you mean the green and gold in the background here and stuff like that?
Everything is that, you know, you can ask Jarvis, like, you know, it's like I constantly pester him, like, you know, 3 a.m. in the morning. Jarvis, what do you think about this? It's like, you know, no, but I do like all the.
You know what? I'm exactly the same. Anyone will tell you, Cass messages me at 3 a.m. with an idea or some sort of show idea or some sort of news. Like I just can't help myself. Sometimes when you just can't get it out, you have to. You just have to. You just got to.
Yeah,
I understand that part.
I just can't get you out of my head. None. Jokes aside, brilliant to have you on board, mate, and hope you enjoy your tea. I know it's freaking hot. Where I'm sitting right now in Scandinavia, we had like 25 degrees. It's super hot. But Jarvis is sitting is northern of Norway, up in Tromsø. Like, you know, he has a party trick, Cass. You know, you want to see it?
I'm scared.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's behind Jarvis' window?
What's behind Jarvis' window?
Sun is shining. Sun is shining. 10 o'clock in Norway.
10 o'clock has been. Wait, what? Is there a part? Isn't there not a part in Scandinavia where it barely goes
dark?
Night dark.
That's the thing, mate. Yeah. It's right up northern.
Is that where you are?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Have you ever heard of Tromsø?
Yeah, I heard of it. I heard of a place literally that doesn't you just never see the night, particularly in any shape, way, or form. There's always one place. Is that the place?
Yeah, this is the place. The sun is always shining in summertime.
And in winter you get constant darkness and northern lights. So
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wicked. Listen, for people that have not, seen you before, like, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into this industry. I'm very
believe it or not, I'm a tunnel engineer. I ran the chemicals and all that kind of stuff, part that recycle chemicals and all that. About a year ago, before I left, just over a year ago. So I was doing all that on a HS2 project, and unfortunately, I got tired of being a robot doing 12-hour shifts and thought, why not put myself towards YouTube? And then I already knew Dap's done YouTube or tried a form of it on Never a Foul. and then he's a Man City fan. I'm a United fan. There's a couple others as well, including Mo and also Tyrone. And I've only been doing this since about exactly 1 year, 1 year and a week today. So
Wow.
yeah, that's my part of coming into the world of it. And
fantastic.
I don't know. Like I thought, of course, it's crazy that you build 10K subs in nearly enough in 1 year, but I don't know. I suppose some people take a liking to me, and some people have not taken a liking to me because
but it's very
wild.
It's grafting, mate. That's what people don't understand. Like, you know, you and me, we share the same path. Like, I know 11 months since I started my journey, and you know, people don't understand what goes behind the scenes. Like, especially we are content creators. We create the graphics. We create everything. It's crazy.
It's
you never slips.
Than that. It's the type people don't understand. There's no such thing as a break.
There is no such thing. Plus, you have your normal work. Plus, you have your family, your wife that gives you the grants to do your thing. But then you have to do your wife duties as well. So big up to you. So, Cass, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for explaining.
I've been eyeing up your channel. It's just when Jarvis did actually ask to to bring me to come on the show and everything along them lines. It was more along the lines. I've seen Jarvis's knowledge as well compared to anybody else's. You know, he knows his stuff in the comments.
He knows,
right? He knows his stuff. He's been around the block of different eras. So big up Jarvis for that. He knows way more than I do. But yeah, man, when he was asking me, it was the end of the season was hectic. End of the season was so consuming, and then you think it's done, right? And then the transfer bit opens. I've moved house. I'm moving with Daps now and everything, and it's just
congratulations.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. But it's nice. I don't know what it is about being on Manchester, because I'll be so honest. I don't really like the Manchester United channels, right? Saeed, I know I'll go on Saeed. There's good reason for that. He's got a big platform, and I actually like the guy and everything. But with Saeed, like, there's something about during the season that gets me on edge talking about Manchester United, because one's opinion yourself is always going to be different. And it's not that you don't want to be open-minded. It's just that sometimes when you don't see eye to eye more than once, it generally, I can't lie, it gets on my nerves. But when it comes to the transfer window and seeing different people's ideas of what people think about what Ten Hag wants and what the team needs and everything, I enjoy it the most. This transfer window, I'll be for real doing a
That's shaping the future. That's pretty much it is. So basically, like, and if I look at your, you know, from a content creator, it's like, you know, it's been relentless. I can share my experience. It's been relentless. I basically spent 6 months in Thailand to escape the winter. So basically, I was covering all the post-match, pre-matches, 3 a.m. in the morning, 6, 7 in the daytime. So big up to all of you Asian fans, right? Because they are the true troopers.
They're troopers. Yeah, I agree with you on that part.
Mate, like 3 a.m. games, right? And then you do the post-match, and then you go 7 a.m., like, you know, going to sleep. And still, if you lost the game, oh my God. Yeah. So it's been a long season and very unprecedented season. But, you know, according to your opinion, like if you take a reflection back, like, you know, looking at Erik ten Hag's season and everything, you know, how would you rate it from your pair of eyes, like, you know, what you've seen so far?
With Ten Hag, so I've had the luxury of going to Old Trafford quite a lot this season. I've pretty much I thought I counted 20 games. Actually been to 22 games this season. And for what the people might see on the screen compared to what you can see on a full-size pitch, you can see tactics a lot differently, especially if you sit in some fortunate places, especially in the East Stand when you got the bird's eye view. Is great, or in a corner or anything along them lines. That's my favorite, to be fair, is either Stretford where you're standing up, which does get annoying. I know people love the Stretford end. But stand up for a full game when Saeed makes you walk about an hour from his house in the river, like in Boomslow Road, or his old house anyway, shall I say, Boomslow Road all the way to Trafford. It's just like, oh mate, I can't bother to stand up now. But when you get a tactical overview and you can see when a team shifts, it's so different at Old Trafford. The vibe, like if you was fortunate to go last season compared to this season, completely different. The fans, we don't. The thing is, there's no getting it. I know we've lost on the road, right? And it's not being fortunate, but what you see at Old Trafford is that's the set in stone, and you get these fans that you see typically on Twitter more time. I'm not the biggest fan of Twitter. I do like it for the banner though. Can't beat it. But
I agree.
It's like, how can you not see that at home? Is you do get to see even on TV some nice patterns play of football.
Yeah,
and on the way, you don't really see that. Maybe that's down due to the players. I wouldn't call. Maybe that's sometimes down to the manager's choice of options. But how can you be in a position where you want to call the manager out, like, and say this is not good enough? This is why there's a never-ending cycle at Chelsea Football Club, because they're never satisfied. And Man United right now, when you go to the ground, you talk to like you do. You go talk to everyone. Everyone's happy. Yeah. And at the same time, the message still remains with the Glazers. You're happy, but you still the message is still there. Trust me, it's still there. As much as the TV tries to mute it. Yeah. But Ten Hag is done fantastic. He's bridged that gap where you feel like you feel like, doesn't everyone feel like they've just healed that little part? Because you know that feeling when you get used to it. You know, I'm used to it by now. Like, I'm used to the pain. What Chelsea fans experience, I don't have that this year, because when you lose or draw or anything like that, you feel like a loss now, and you feel like there's one man that's finally done that, who's trying to bring style that's adapting to everything.
That's the thing. When we drew a game, it felt like it was a loss. You know, everyone was sort of, all of a sudden we start winning, like, and everyone was kind of like, as soon as we lost the game or drew a game, everyone was losing the shit on Twitter. That's the thing. And I kept saying, like, oh, hang on, look where we were last season. Look what Chelsea fans are going through. Like, and just picture, like, you know, how lucky and fortunate we are that we're actually going to see good football at Ten Hag's style, right? And this guy hasn't really started. He just started to scratch the surface, basically, you know. So I'm really looking forward for the transfer market, like yourself, because this is turning the page, mate. You know, it is kind of, now you can see that, okay, you completed it this season, you finished third, you won a silverware, fantastic job. Now we're turning the page in terms of going to the transfer market, you know. And another thing, we have Nuruddin on quite often, and as well, he's quite fortunate to go on his bicycle.
Nuruddin, he's a quality guy, to be fair.
He's quality, top stuff. We're going on to his channel after the stream as well, so we're doing double stream as well. But listen, I want to dive in right to it. Before we go, we're going to go to the VAR room. The most important people in the show is not us. Whenever we have our VAR room, we have our panelists are here. We are the players of the game, but we have our loyal community, and there's been a lot of you coming in here. So I want to give a shout out to John Johnson is in the house, RJ is in the house, United Devils, Simon Heron is in the house. A lot of you, Stephanie Griffith, one of our moderators, Aaron is here, John Johnson is here, Compost Smurf, everyone, big up to you, Milos from Serbia, Mike. Wow, keep it coming, guys, keep it coming. But, you know, at the end of the day, what we're going to do here, big up to all of you, smash the like, don't forget. Let's go right into the transfer market, because now the season is over. We are getting a hopefully new owners in a very, very short period of time. There has been a massive spike in the stock market, but everyone's been talking about. There is allegations now going that they're backtracking the story, but I have confirmation that it's not. All we have to do is just wait for the keys, hand over the keys. Cash, how excited do you feel with the new ownership? Is it surreal for you? Like, you know, it's finally happening. I can't believe it myself.
In my opinion, everything pinpoints to Qatar, doesn't it? I think everything's starting to pinpoint. Have you got giddy yesterday like myself? Obviously, jumped the bandwagon. Why not? I'm definitely jumping the bandwagon. I loved it. And how many things I got to tweet last night, I just thought was absolutely funny. But it can't go with Surgeon. It can't. It can't. That's a rat. Right there. There's a reason why his name's Ratcliffe. That's part reason for that. And the thing is, he has to go through Premier League checks. So when you actually deep it and logically think about it, didn't they not stop that from after when the Glazers took over about with all these bank payments and everything just to keep past? So how would he even get past those checks? And now there's rumors saying he's going to invest all that money that he's found into Nice, which I don't think is true. It's probably some PR stuff. He's admitted defeat. That's the way I look at it.
Smoke screens and props.
Yeah, I feel Qatar have offered, but no one actually truly knows it offer. Everyone thinks it's $7.6 billion, which is roughly equivalent to what, 5.8 million pounds. But for me, if you string along the lines, they've had to backtrack from yesterday. I know there's NDAs as well that's in place, and the result of placing that news all the way around Qatar, because it wasn't just one outlet, it was a few, and there was obviously people that are close to the journalists clearly saying congratulations, you just affected the stock price. Now, if you affected the stock price, that might give the Glazers every instinct to say we want more.
Yeah, true.
If they want really, as we know them, they have been doing that for the last 2 months, have they not? So
it's clear and obvious, Cass. They've been
18%. You don't. That's unheard of.
That's almost 1 billion in increase of evaluation. That's the thing, right? When you look
That's
at
the
it.
one. So you have
But
to
the thing is, like, and it's clear and obvious because I've been doing forensic investigation for 10 months. I've been working. I'm super tired. I just want this to end, right? So when you look at it, this whole process has been designed only to bait in the biggest shark you can, right? And that has always been like, they've gone off after the oil-rich countries because they've been there mingling back in October, November during the World Cup. You saw they were mingling with the sheikhs and the royalties, pimping out the club. It's all been designed. So of course you had a lot of minority investors and everyone that came have a look at it. We had Thomas Siliakos. They were willing to bid the peanuts, like 2.3 billion, 2.4, but at the end of the day they fell off. So it's always been that wait to the highest bid, slap the money on the table, cleanest deal, money wins, Glazonomics, take it, leave it, buy it, see
Arabs
you
don't
later.
lose. Arabs don't lose.
They don't. They
No.
don't. So what come out yesterday? So I had to sort of, I didn't sleep much basically because a lot of Qataris was celebrating. A lot of people I was backtracking, checking, WhatsApping, just to see if you had legs. And just the fact that in the Middle East, stories like this you don't publish. Like we're talking about Arab business
Not in
news.
Doha, anyways. We know of Al Jazeera, which is
Mm.
I wouldn't say anything you read in Arabic's definitely a thing. It's not just any different from the English media. English media are basically xenophobic as well. Let's be real. Let's call a spade for a spade.
Yeah, that's what
They
we
don't
do
want
here.
this.
Right?
They don't like, or maybe they just don't like state-owned ownership. And I know Qatar are trying to say it's not state-owned. We all know. So basically, this is my opinion. Maybe I might know a little something. But there was a couple months ago they were saying about PSG potentially being up for sale, right? Is it a coincidence that Messi got sold? Neymar wants to leave now. It forced them out, and now they want to get rid of Mbappe. What this sounds like, they're trying to devalue the club,
Yeah.
so they can sell the club, and Qatar itself would have one club to focus on. Now they say it's separate. There's loopholes in everything. Look at Chelsea, for instance. There's a loophole in everything in the world of business. I'm telling you now, this is state-owned. Man United will be state-owned, whether it's officially by a company head will just be the head of it, and they will never find out. Because why? Because Qatar actually own most of England, if you didn't know this. They own half of London, to be precise. True. They, in Arab world, Saudis own half or majority of newspapers as it goes as well. Crazy how the Arab world own part.
But another thing is geopolitically speaking as well, Cass. We know that the Emir of Qatar made a big deal with UK with the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, right? And regarding the LNG gas and investment in projects all around the UK's, which generates a lot of jobs. So prior to the King's coronation, we saw another meeting with Emir and with Rishi Sunak. Do you think that they spoke about the coronation? No, they spoke about business, and of course, to say, how about Manchester United? So.
You know what I'd say as well, because I think with the UK, they need to start bridging away from. I get they're in the Western world and they're highly dealt with America, but then we got this oil problem. We got this gas problem. Prices rising. If anything, you need to be friendly with the Middle East, because now you cut off. If we want to talk politically, by the way, and I know it's boring people, but the cut off from the Russians, and it's not going to be healing anytime soon. You're going to have to make some friends.
True.
And those friends are the people in the Middle East. So if you want something, if you want the prized asset of the world in sports, which is Manchester United, you're going to have to.
You can say also, like, if you survive this winter, just wait for next winter. And this is why, the LNG guys from Qatar is so important.
Yeah, of course. No one's hands clean in all of this. You can talk about billionaires. Are this billionaires better than the next? Trust me, they're not. Go look at Ratcliffe's background with clean fossil fuels. I guarantee you do your proper research, go find it for yourselves, see how clean this man is, and see what he's doing for the pollution in the world. But that's just one part. That's just only one. You can't just blame him. It's everywhere. No such thing as a clean billionaire.
There is no such. I totally toe your line there. There's no. Once you come up to the billionaires club, it is a total different Squid Games. It's a game between billionaires who's got the richest wealth, and it becomes like a toy. Everyone that's watched the Squid Games, the South Korean Squid Games. So it's basically the billionaires competing, and we as fans just suffering, But at the end of the day, Cass, what it comes down to, as long as it's no glazes, all that's clear, we are actually being treated like a club to compete again. You know, it hurts that City actually took the treble, but all we have to do is move forward with the new structure, new plan, new manager, not manager, but new dawn, right? So basically, like the only way forward is to make sure that we win the next treble, we win everything that we can, and the only way to do so is to
Is
back
Pep
everything up.
Guardiola leaving?
Yeah, he
Yes,
is.
Pep
Mission
Guardiola.
accomplished. Mission
He needs to leave.
accomplished.
That man needs to leave, whether we like it or not. No matter who we get in for Manchester United, that man is brilliant. You have to call
Yes.
for it. He's brilliant, and it's going to be hard. There's no manager in world football that comes close to him, near enough, even in trophies alone, let alone in tactics
Okay.
alone. That's my personal opinion. Whether you think Ten Hag is the next Brainiac, he could be. He very much could be. But the next one could be Arteta. He could be another guy an unearthed gem that we don't know about. But I'm just saying, Pep's brilliant. The only way we're gonna start dominating again, even if Qatar come in, doesn't actually mean everything's rosy. We all think that because it's Arab owned and we've seen how they treat clubs because they want to win, doesn't exactly mean that Man United is going to be successful. The only reason why I don't want Sir Jim in is because the way he's treated Nice and the fans don't want him. The players are calling him out. You know, the PR spin on him, and obviously everyone knows about the 20 about leaving out those Class B shares. You know, from the Glazers to stay in control. You know, and obviously that provides a lot of legal opinion as well. No one wants that. No, as soon as every Man United fan heard that, it's 69% because he's a broke billionaire, let's be honest.
True.
And which is crazy to say, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to say it's exactly the same. What he's doing is exactly the same what happened back in 2005. Using loans to buy it, using back then 200 million and plus extra loans to buy Manchester United for 600.
No, right? It's another
200 million
Ocean's 11 part 3 almost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The biggest heist.
It's exactly the same as a heist. It's at this time times it by whatever amount you need to. This time it's 2 point something billion plus extra loans to go get Man United. That's not going to return us to the good times. I promise you that now. No, it really isn't, because we're going to be paying back loans time and after again, and not enough budget in the transfer market. Same thing, and I just don't feel like he has the minerals to push Man United where we want to be, unfortunately.
2 points there, what you touched, which I totally agree with you. And the thing is, when you said Pep Guardiola is leaving, and that's crossed my mind too, because now mission is accomplished. Like they won finally the Champions League. His contract is expiring 2025, right? Do you see? Yeah. I don't think he's going to extend. So basically, no. He's probably going to return back to Barcelona again.
I don't think so. The club's a mess. I actually think he goes either international or Italy. I think he's got plans.
Cool.
That's what I guess.
Or Saudi Arabia, maybe. That's where most of the players the money are at the moment.
That man's too ambitious, I think. I think he's way too ambitious. I don't think he cares about money. He cares about legacy. And that man's going to go dominate Italy for a couple years.
He's good. He's good. Can't deny him. Another thing, what you're saying about PSG, like, you know, I've been vocal about this as well for a very long time. Of course, you know, we know that they bought PSG for a PR tool, like for Qatar World Cup kind of thing, right? And then they got the Neymars and the all thing. Now they mission accomplished there. So what you're saying there is kind of a little bit of a conspiracy theory. Now they kind of relinquished those assets, selling off Mbappe and Neymars.
Of course it's a conspiracy theory, but they want out. Trust me. I wish. And it's not that I'm an ITK. It's just that I know people within the field of business, probably like yourself, Mick, as well, that are working on. Yeah, I can't say. I'm not allowed, man. But PSG,
no, I'm not allowed to either. Like, you know, I'm working into intermediate markets.
PSG are looking for an exit strategy. The people that are there, because it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked out, and they spent probably more than they've actually earned. That's just...
right. Brilliant. We went very deep there, Cass. But I just want to say congratulations for Jeff Steele. Big up to you. I love your cat, by the way. Nice cat picture. Jeff Steele became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution. Thank you for becoming a member. I think we just launched this program, guys. So as far as I can see, we are about 50 new members right now. So let's continue. Let's continue the show. It's been like, you know, deep conversations. We're touched a little bit about geopolitics, but that really, I mean, I like to keep politics out of sports, but nowadays it's impossible. Now we're talking about the takeover. That's over and done. What about Cass? What about your opinions in terms of moving forward? In terms of you said you love transfer market, right?
Yeah.
Everyone covered the striker position, right? Who would be your perfect striker target? Like, you know,
I'll give you Mbappé.
Mbappe.
Go get me Mbappe. I'm not
No,
even
I'm
kidding.
not going. No, no. This is free. Like if you're a
I know.
Ten Hag,
Oh, if I'm
Cass,
Ten
if you're a Ten Hag, let's do a role play. If Cass was Casemiro today, like speaking to Ten Hag, like Agent Cass, like what would you say to Ten Hag? Listen, mate, here's my striker target list. Here's what I reckon you should go with. No, the mic is your mate.
Wait, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go with my hopeful thinking, or do you want to go with a realistic thinking?
Both.
All right, my hopeful thinking is that we go get Harry Kane and Mbappe. That's my wishful. So, but my logical thinking speaks along the lines of, I believe, I know PSG don't want to sell Kylian over to Madrid, but if push comes to shove, they're going to sell him there. And that there's a good. Has no one actually noticed how this Kane to Madrid thing has slowed down all of a sudden? That's what tells me there's some sort of movement. Man United's transfers all hush hush. This is why Mason Mount's being put on pause. Maybe a different change of strategy potentially. But I believe that if Qataris come in, they're gonna have to put a statement signing out there. You're gonna have to please the fans. You're gonna have some budget to spend. Whether not loads. I don't believe we're gonna have loads and loads. It'll be stupid. I think we need to learn a lesson. Don't go buy a bunch of players just for the sake of it, just like Chelsea did. But there's no direction when you're not even confident in your own board. So, and they'll put a lot of pressure on Ten Hag as well, which I don't think we need right now because if you want to accelerate at a good pace, I believe Harry Kane overall it would be the most realistic fit because if Mbappe is to go to Madrid, that blows their budget for Kane, leaving a free run. It depends how you want to do things. Of course, do you wait till next year? But if you've got the money, go get Kane. Don't wait even for a year. We could do even this time. An extra 20 goals per season plus 5 to 10 assists. I'm taking that all day long. Something that we could do. We need to add more goals to the tally on top of that because I believe our total was around 56, 58 of the season. You need about 90 goals, 85 to 90 goals. I'm going to say about 90 goals to win the league in a season on average. So that's how we're not actually there yet. But if you can add a few assists for a striker and 20 goals, that's about 25 goals roughly. And we get close to that margin. It puts you in a good conversation because I think our defense is immaculate. But if you're telling me which players I'm going to go, I'll go get Kane and Højlund. I think Kane and Højlund. I won't speak on a certain other individual because I am very passionate about not allowing him back in the club. But if it's to be, what can you do? Fans are fickle, score a few goals, you forget. Rumors of him being back in pre-season as well.
Kane and Højlund, yeah.
I'll choose Kane and Højlund. Good height. There's something in Manchester United we've been lacking for so long. It's just a target to cross the ball into, and we don't have that at Manchester United. Højlund's 6'3", very fast, quite agile to be fair for his height, which is ridiculous. Left-footed. Kane is Harry Kane, and I think Marcus Rashford and Garnacho would benefit of Kane heavily. On the right-hand side, however, Anthony needs to step up his game, and it'll be. I know we linked with we just literally been linked today with Moussa Diaby for 65 million, and maybe that happens if Jadon Sancho goes the other way for 60 million to Or
there might be a transfer swap to say like Sancho for Kane, like in a way. Like, there's kind of a little bit of a rumor that way as well. We offer Sancho and we pay the difference between Sancho and Kane, but still, I think you can get 65, 70 for Sancho at least.
If you can put Sancho in that equation and get Kane, just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
Just do it.
Because the return on investment is like, people say, oh, but he has no resale value after. It's not that, it's what he will return on investment is how many goals will he contribute? How many shirts will he sell? What is the commercial value at the end of the day? After that 3-4 years period, he might retire. But, the return on investment is that we might want a cup, we might want a Premier League, and that's it, right?
And the thing is with Mbappe, he doesn't want to play striker. He wants to play left wing. That's his favorite position. So what happens with Rashford then? You put him on striker.
What happens to Garnacho?
I don't exactly. To be honest, if you get Mbappe, I don't care what happens to Garnacho. But I'll be honest. But Mbappe wants to play left. Maybe Rashford goes over to the right. You still need a link-up striker because Rashford and Mbappe next to each other, it doesn't work. They're two similar players, except one's just significantly better.
But then you might have a fluid like interchangeable like top
front line.
Yeah, front line. I can go.
You say that now, but then you have to look towards our midfield. Do we have a very controlling midfield for us to allow to do that? We don't.
We're going to talk about the midfield later, but I'm going to pull in a super chat because I'm not neglecting you guys. We're just deep into the conversation. Elianteno is saying, me and Cass had our Toby ready since September. Toby, right?
So if Qatar get bought, I'm not joking. Start of the season, I'm going to buy it. We call it Khamis, or you can call it a thobe.
Some people call it dish dash as well.
Yeah, of course, and obviously a scarf, Qatari colors. straight to Old Trafford. Don't care what people think. Shades. That's it.
Big up.
No
Thank you,
joke.
Aileen.
It'll be brilliant.
Aileen is one of our regulars as well. Thank you for the contribution. Yeah, definitely. The day it's going to be a party. Definitely, we're going to have a live stream. We're going to party like it's 99. I'm definitely going to put on also my thobe as well. So we'll see. Yeah. So your preferred. I totally agree with what you're saying. I don't know. I bring it back to you, Jarvis, because you're very knowledgeable. I know you're towing another player in mind that's a French 24-year-old, but
Yeah.
Interesting to hear your thought process. on
He's
this.
wicked, by the way.
You think about Højlund, or are we talking about Koulibaly? Because for me, it's Koulibaly. That's the striker I want, because I think he's really good, like playing the square pass. His credible pace. He's extremely good at dribbling. He's versatile. He can play on both sides and in the center. So for me, I would like him. But he don't produce as many goals as Harry Kane would do. I would guess he will score like 12 to 15 goals next season if it comes to United. And maybe we need more, as you mentioned, Cass. We need to create more chances and score more goals. That's our biggest problem.
We need firepower. So,
but I would go for a mixed solution. I would try to get both Højlund and Koulibaly. That would probably.
If Qatar come in, would you not want to go for someone like Kane? Would you not just slap down a price that they want?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. That's the logic I'm thinking, because at the moment I'm thinking, yeah, of course, go get Moani and Højlund. We've got no choice.
Yeah.
But if Qatar come in, would that be your preference?
Jeff Streel from Australia saying, "Bring on the silly season, Mbappe to United." That's I don't know, because I keep reading. We are linked to Mbappe all of a sudden because the links of Qatar. And then we know that Real Madrid has always wanted him. Florian Perez will not give away. He's been like a stalker. It's like he's been rejected on Tinder. He's going back for it. But where are they getting the money from? That's the thing, right? Where are they getting money from? And it's going to play such an important part. So I agree with you guys. I don't think Ten Hag, if you look at Ten Hag from Ajax, he never went big. Like, he sourced from the intermediate market, from the grassroots in certain ways. So I think he still has that mentality. But if we do get a Qatari ownership, Kaz, do you think they will go for a signature signing like an Mbappe? Because I don't want Neymar close to our club. Forget about it. Forget about it.
I hear you, but I've got one more dance in me, man. I've got one more dance in me. Why not one more silly one?
Get ready. Buckle up.
I imagine you do have, let's just say you do have a Kane up front, or maybe you don't have Kane. Let's say you do have a Højlund or Moani up front. I love Bruno Fernandes, but Neymar in a 10 with some hardworking wingers, potentially like Anthony and Rashford, who covered a lot of distance in a maybe just like one wishful thinking there. Maybe even Neymar down the middle, it might be a false 9 situation. He's played it before. He's not like he's not used to that formation.
Yeah.
But it'll be at this point, Neymar doesn't make no sense, because it's a luxury player. A luxury player doesn't make sense to Man United. If you have a great squad already, and then you add in the luxury,
yeah,
of course.
But we got to get rid of the false number 5 at Manchester United.
Yeah, get the false 9. Yeah.
Harry Maguire.
I believe.
Yeah, but Cass, the thing with Neymar, I think is kind of his position is kind of done in modern football. The false 9 and the 10 is basically going out now. It's more fluent, so I can't see how and where Neymar could play for us in a Ten Hag system.
You know what's crazy, right? I see John Johnson down. It says hardworking winger. His name's Rashford, but the second most hardworking player in our team is Rashford, over 300 kilometers this season. And guess what?
Just before you continue, John Johnson is our hardcore. He always put Rashford in jail.
I know, but it's crazy to say that when Bruno ran over 400 kilometers, and bear in mind Rashford played a lot less minutes due to his injury, obviously, and covered over 300 kilometers, but apparently he's not hardworking. The narrative. Agendas must agenda, I suppose, right?
Yeah. Andy Cooper is saying, breaking news, Avram Glazer's lost his ponytail. That's what the announcement. He needs a wing to cover his massive... Jesus Christ, Andy. Our community is crazy, man. Seriously. Big up to all of you. So, listen, I don't know, like, because I want to be surprised by Ten Hag. Obviously, I like the sound of Rasmus Højlund. I think he's got great legs. I think we will get him, like, by the sounds of it. But I'm not going to get giddy until we see the signature and everything done. Right? Strikers, we need firepower. Like Rashford alone cannot carry this team with 30 goals. We need to add on. And what's going to happen with a certain number 11 in the team? Is he going to stay? Is he going on loan? That's another alternative. But technically speaking, he's still a employee by Manchester United. But people don't talk about it. All I want to do is some clarity, to have some statement, to have some interviews coming out, and that's it. Move on. But in terms of getting 2 new strikers, yes, paying 150 million for extortion price for
Sorry, guys. Go on.
Yeah, 150 million for the Phantom of the Opera. We're not going to do that. He can go to Chelsea. We were talking about. So Napoli will not release him for 150, so that's fine. Kane, will it be a game with Daniel Levy? 100% it will. He will not release him, but he's playing a game himself. Would it be that we get the Kulamano and Højlund and then wait for Harry Kane to come free in January? Because come January, he can actually walk for free. True? In January transfer window?
Say that again. Sorry. I'm the.
So if we do like this, like, let's say, Cass, we get 2 young strikers like a Kulamano and a Rasmus Højlund, and then come January transfer window, Harry Kane can just pretty much walk for nothing. Almost.
Yeah, they're not going to allow him to walk for nothing, though. He won't be available in January, though. He'll be available in June, if I'm correct.
In June, yeah. Or he waits another year and walk away for free.
So even by that point, if Tottenham are going to concede to the fact that they're looking at towards Kane seeing out his contract in January, there's no chance we're going to secure him in next summer. There's no way they're going to concede to him leaving in January, especially if Tottenham are in a good position as well. So I wouldn't. If that's the case, I'd rather go get Tony in January. If I'm being totally honest, I would love him as a backup.
Tony, yeah.
I think it'd be a decent option if maybe one of the strikers don't work out, and even his contract runs out next year, if I'm correct. So yeah, there's lots to look forward to, except for this
100%.
midfield.
100%. Let's talk about the midfield, mate, because this Ten Hag is absolutely keeping his cards close to his chest. So for now, it's just a little bit of a guessing game, right? Mason Mount has been paper talk, according to my opinion. Agents is pushing it. I don't want to talk about Mason Mount because I think it's kind of like down in the pecking order. Who do you see is being the targets? Do you see he's going for another Frankie de Jong saga 2.0 again? Do you see him going for Casado? Talk to us. What's your thought process?
Mount makes no sense to me to be your first signing through the door. I can hear through the lines of you have to hit a homegrown quota. I think that's probably the only reason why we're actually targeting Mount. But if you're bringing in Mount as the guy to play 8 next to Bruno, that makes no sense. It's like you might as well keep Fred then. Like, I'd rather the defensive cover of Fred than attacking part of Mount. Fred attacking hasn't actually been too sad this season. I'll be so honest. Where Mount hasn't, and I know it's been a season, everyone at Chelsea has been rubbish. But no, and then you hear Rabiot because he's on a free, and it sounds like all budgeting situation. I know we need 2 strikers. Kim Min Jae's there. I'm pretty sure we're going to get that one wrapped up. Which is
We had John Shin yesterday. He dressed him in Korean directly.
Yeah. If you're going to spend 50 million or up to 60 million potentially, which I don't think, on Mount, you're funding Chelsea to go get the better player in Caicedo. Now imagine Caicedo next to Casemiro, and I believe Caicedo can do the 8 role. You know, he's press resistant. He's very defensively solid. I know he's not the greatest going forward, but he actually plays a lot of ground breaking passes. So I would prefer that because that's the profile I'd like. And next to Caicedo, next to Casemiro and Caicedo, that's a cheat code. And if you've got Kim Min Jae there, that's even more of a cheat code. Oh, imagine actually having a keeper that can distribute the ball. For me, it's a cheat code in defense. So I would prefer to go get Caicedo personally. Mount is nah, that's an abomination. Look, I can trust in Ten Hag, but I can disagree with the players he's targeting personally because I just don't trust Man United to get enough over the line for the guy, and then you're stuck with one midfielder. What
do you think about the transfer free transfer of Rabiot? Nah. Can you just imagine, Cass? I crack a joke all the time. Imagine we had McFred. Imagine you get a Mount and Rabiot. What would be the nickname?
I used to call Mount Fred. No, sorry. I used to call Fred Scott McTominay and Bruno McFruno. So what would this one be?
Mount a rabbit.
Mount the Rabbit.
Mount a rabbit. Yeah, that's jokes aside, people. That's a farcical, and plus you get Veronique Rabiot on the purchase as well. But
apparently she's not. Yeah, apparently she's gone.
She's gone. Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not negative to Rabiot. I would gladly take him because I think he's a good player. You know, I saw him in the World Cup. He did good. He's been doing great this season for Juventus. He has scored a lot of goals. He had assists. He's actually more creative and going forward than we would believe. People just think of him as a defensive midfielder, but I think he's more a box to box, and he can actually replace Eriksen in a way, and we can get him for cheap. So I say, why not?
Yeah, maybe. I just think there's better players out there than the typical profile of what the scouting has come back with for Ten Hag. That this is the players you can choose from. Who do you want? It's just not. It's just not smart. It's not logical. It's too rigid. I'm like, why are Man United so allergic to good midfielders like that can actually play? Like we have never replaced Paul Scholes. He had to actually come out of retirement to fill that gap. You know, imagine having to come out of retirement because it's Man United doesn't want to buy any proper centre mids and not a proper number 8. You got Casemiro. It's all about Pogba being his 8. Yet we couldn't have we could have a proper number 6 to only get rid of Pogba to then buy Casemiro. How does that make any sense? Like, honestly, you put Casemiro and Pogba next to each other and an able number 8 like Bruno potentially, you're laughing.
You're laughing. You're bawling. Jeff Steele with another super chat from Australia. Big up, mate. Dingham, thank you, sir.
Yep.
Jeff, just hope United are smart with the transfers. Don't have a great history of that. Main priority is to oust that poison from our club, the Glazers. Yeah, big up, Jeff. Fair income for your contribution, mate. I'm gonna do it in Aussie slang as well. So basically, mate, we're done with this. I agree with your super chat there. So I'm saying that, you know, we need to sort of turn the page. We need to have, you know, owners that actually listen to Ten Hag and his sporting directors, because it's been clear and obvious that
I think Ten Hag needs to listen to the scouts as well, because
the
scouts
scouts.
Bad. There's no point in reinventing the whole scouting system, which he's been doing, which is as well with also new logistics and everything that goes along with it.
Yeah.
As you can see, we got like 7 analysts or something like that. So like some of these scouts have come back with some good names in the past that we missed out on Caicedo for 5 million.
Yeah, but that brings me to a next topic, Cass. Which
things, but he wasn't Ragnick. He only mentioned Alvarez, and he said no.
But Jeff and Matt and everyone else, Cass, everyone else, just brings me to the topic here, because, you know, Matt Hargreaves started his job this week. Matt, if you don't know Matt Hargreaves, he spent 14 years as a chief negotiator for Adidas, right? This guy is a ruthless negotiator in the industry, is well known. So this is a appointment to replace Matt Judge, by the way. So now you have the world-class negotiator, like, you know, in terms of getting the right fees, getting the outgoings, negotiating for the right fees. So I do expect this to be an astute Simon. We will see the fruits of Matt Hargreaves in the summer as well. So
wait, you say world-class negotiator, but for people that don't know, especially for myself, I ain't done much research on this Matt Hargreaves. What's his credentials in the back?
He's the one, let's say for Adidas, he's the one that negotiates all the sponsorship deal and everything in marketing and sales and everything. So he's cut through I mean, the little that I know, at least the little research that I know, but people saying that people that's met him in the industry said he's like, you know, hard to negotiate with. He's a tough cookie, like similar like a Marina that Chelsea had, right?
I hear that. But it doesn't scream football in person to me. It just screams commercial.
You know, like, but that's what you're there for, to negotiate the deals. Yeah,
you're there to negotiate the deals, but you have football people that know football that can negotiate these deals. A proper director of football, right? They can actually, director of football is not just negotiating deals. If I'm right or wrong, right or wrong. They're also there to literally have a collection of players on top of that. How do you know that he's got anything in the bank to this on my recommended?
We see.
But you know, it's even an improvement on Matt Judge, because he's a banker, so we're better off.
Matt Judge.
Matt Judge. We're not going to talk about Judge, but at least what I understood, Matt Hargreaves is a football fan. He knows football, and he spent with the sports football division with Adidas, negotiating sponsorships and deals. So it's the proof will be in the pudding, and we will see in the transfer market. That's the thing, right?
Can I just add on that, Mick? Because I think when it comes to making deals and negotiating, I don't think the problem is agreeing on a price. I think the problem is persuading the player, and that's where we have failed the last couple of years. We always have to overpay for them to come.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest problem, and I don't think the Hargreaves will fix that.
Allow that to happen. No, we're not going to be taken for the cleaners, right?
Well, it says it is. This is my part, which is kind of aggravating. Is role within Adidas and everything that will go negotiations. From what I'm reading upon, is that he's had 6 years in sports, exactly in sports marketing. So 6 years of sports marketing to be ahead of the director of negotiations, basically the director of football. 6 years is all you ask for Manchester United to get hired. That stinks.
We will see.
What? I saw a rumor today. Obviously, rumors don't mean this, and I pretty much think this is going to be the case. I think everyone. They said if Qatar come in, even actually SJR, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, they come in. Everyone's got 10 months to prove themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to do a restructure, you're not going to do an open heart surgery straight away. Part of my business, what I'm doing is in advising in organizational transformation and change. And you start always looking at, okay, what is the root cause? You have a functional base operation, the slab, but then you have to sort of do a 100 days evaluation. And it's not going to happen over one night, but eventually every ex-Glazer employee that sits there is probably going to be looked at, and they're going to bring in their own people, best-in-class people. There's one thing what I know with at least Middle Eastern or Dubai and Qatari, they only hire the best in class, to be honest. They only do.
I'd like to think so. Because if we're going off anything, we only think about City and Newcastle. But if we're talking about a stereotype, which most people have alluded to with PSG, and I know it's not the same people, it's not, I wouldn't be very confident hiring the people that you need. It'd be chaos.
Okay. John Johnson with a super chat, basically. Rashford running around clocking up grass doesn't mean he works hard helping the FB or pressing the opposition at all. Mick Jarvis. Fullback. All Mick Jarvis legends. Yeah. But I think,
about Bruno as well then.
Yeah, same with Bruno at the same time. You can be critical to Rashford, John. That's all valid points. But at the end of the day, the man scored 30 goals in this season alone, carried on the team. Same with Bruno, played every freaking game, right? And what is Erik ten Hag supposed to do? His plan went out of the window with all these injuries. Donny van de Beek got the scissor tackles, almost broke his knee. Then you had Garnacho, also scissor tackled. You had Martinez that go out. So he basically had to play what he got, right? And people ran out of gas. It was an unprecedented season with World Cup in the middle of everything, right? So we see how we go next season, mate. So I believe in terms of the striker position, we need more firepower, John Johnson, and whatever Ten Hag chooses to do, we should back and support, but big up for your comment. I know you're the biggest critic. Maybe you want the best for Rashford and the team, but Martial is somebody that I think has, done his last swan song at United at the moment.
He needs to leave.
I
was Martial FC for a long time. I've had enough.
Enough is enough. Yeah, the thing is, mate, I've never been player FC. I've always been United FC, right? I always look for the club.
I liked. I favoured him, but it's just whatever. He's not bigger than the club.
I'm starting to warm up to Garnacho. Come on, man.
I'll be honest. Garnacho is probably our best winger, in my opinion.
He is. Yeah. So Jarvis, in terms of your, now we're going to see it's already the media starting out there with the Arsenal is going for Declan Rice. Casado is linked to Declan Rice and Chelsea. Can Arsenal afford to get both a Rice or Casado, or is it just paper talks, or are we in for him, Casado? Because I would love a Casado cast as well.
Well, why do they want to go to Arsenal? Okay, I can see Rice going to Arsenal, but Caicedo.
Why would they go to Chelsea? There's no Champions League football.
It's the dineros, money. That's always the.
Aren't they
biggest,
already in financial trouble? They
equator in
spent
the game.
6 billion already.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
I don't know. I don't follow Arsenal and Chelsea that good. You know, Cass is a specialist on other clubs in the Premier League, so I would like to hear his.
What, can Arsenal afford both of them? Yeah, they can.
They can.
They
You
can
reckon
definitely
Kroenke will
afford
throw the money? His wife will release the kitty.
when you look at Arsenal's targets, the only rumored to look at a couple fullbacks in depth, and then also midfielders and a potential depth centre back. They're not really a first team. They only need to focus on that. You know, Xhaka leaving, rumors of Partey leaving, which I don't think is going to happen. Jorginho going to Lazio. They got rumored around 200 to 250 million alone in budget to spend, and that's not including their outgoings. Of course, they can afford Caicedo. It's one of their targets, by the way. They'll target him in what's it called, in January, and I'm pretty sure they'll be back in from as soon as they can, as soon as they get the Declan Rice deal over the line. So, Man United the ownership needs to be swift, because I would love for us to switch targets from Mount to Caicedo straight away.
100%. 100%.
How about Gravenberch?
Gravenberch.
I would take him. I would take him, but I believe Bayern Munich are just reluctant to not sell him whatsoever. And I know he's frustrated through game time, but that's somebody I would take. I wouldn't take him as the only player, but we need a playmaker and active, maybe young, that's got a bit of legs about them. But I still believe we need a press-resistant type number 8.
Yeah. I have Philip, one of my mates, as well, saying it's not what the manager wants. New owners come in, what Erik ten Hag wants. Remember, Martin Edwards and Brian Kidd tried to stop the Dwight York deal in '98, and Ferguson found out and blew his top. Yeah, big up, Phil. 100% agree with you, mate. So it is what Ten Hag wants, and we are just consumers of the game at the end of the day. We are not the ones to pick. We have an opinion. Imagine if they used us as a scouts. Yes, you know, the Twitter fans as scouts. It'll be a mess, right?
Yeah, it would be a mess. Yeah.
I don't know. Alex, we definitely need a Casemiro rotational player as well. Like, who could that be, right? Could it be a Frankie? Could it be a Caicedo? Could it be even a Ruben Neves that's apparently 1 year left on his contract? Because at the end of the day, we need that squad depth. We need McFreddy's not good enough. McTominay is probably going. Fred is probably staying, right? Because Fred offers something, right? At least in the final third, coming on from the bench, 65 minutes, 75 minutes in, he offers something in different games as well.
Ruben Neves, not for me. That ship sailed a long time ago for me. People are sold on this idea that he's anything. He's not mobile enough for me. The 8's changing. I know he's a playmaker. If he's imagine you correctly get 2 midfielders and then get Ruben Neves. Yeah, fine. But there's someone that's just going to cost as much as his heart's set on Barcelona. Just like another guy called Amrabat, who I favor. I would love that guy.
Amrabat. Oh yeah, Sofiane. 100%. You can get him for 35 mil, by the way. That's the thing.
Exactly. That's why I'd be going for him. I think he's amazing. He showed Rice who's boss as well in the final, did he not?
Caicedo can also play inverted fullback. True that. He's a versatile player, and that's I think what the Ten Hag is looking for: versatile players. Like, they could play in multiple positions as well, not only do one specialist role. Right. 100%. No to never.
Yes, I have a question. In the beginning, you talked about you like going to Old Trafford and have the view from top to see the whole pitch. What's the biggest improvement on United this season? Would you say, from Ten Hag's point of view? What has improved on our team? Of a tactical view.
Huh?
From a tactical view, when you're on Old Trafford.
I would just say shape. Yeah, shape. Shape's the biggest thing. A lot of players track back, especially at home. There's something about at home. There's a lot of shape, and I think that's just probably down to Casemiro. But if you see the back line, the fullbacks operate great. Yeah. Like, they get back quick. The recoveries are very good. You don't see them really caught out of position. But again, that might come from our line not being exactly out. I would say, anyways. So yeah, I would say along them lines. I would say the shape is definitely the improvement. That's why our defense has got such a, I know we've been spanked in some games away from home, but at home we barely concede more than 2 goals. I think the only game we conceded more than 2 or more goals this season was Leeds. And before I even got in my seat, we conceded. I think Leeds and, of course, Brighton at the start of the season. So if I'm correct, is that the
9
only team?
goals
Is that the only team? I don't believe any other team
at
scored
home.
more.
No.
Yeah, at home, of course, at home.
Yeah. Simon Heron, one of our members, saying Casado is a United fan, apparently.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
He-
apparently him and his family. It could operate as
Get
a
him
fact,
in.
a dream
Get
move,
him in.
like Mbappe's dream move is Madrid.
Yeah.
You could.
But here's the thing: like Brighton is doing something that I would like us to do, and something that Ten Hag did with in Ajax is basically getting the grassroots player in, right, for 11,000, for 11 million, 7 million. Those players from Argentina, from Costa Rica, from Colombia, those they are the players that are currently working in a squad. They play with different passion. They play street
gems.
football.
Yeah, there's
They're
gems
fighters.
in South America.
Gems.
Currently. So many, and I'm not. It's crazy how many like Brian looking at, Man City are looking at, we're looking at as well. There's a lot of our setup down there. Chelsea are looking at quite a few South Americans. It's just a new wave at the moment. There's just abundance of talent down there, especially in Argentina and Ecuador. It's not the only one in Caicedo. There's a few, and obviously there's the Brazilians as well. So there's always going to be the Brazilians.
Some people saying, even Director Me saying, well, big up to Director Me for contributing. Akanji grew up as a United fan and doesn't mean anything if you can't get the deal over the line. True. But at the end of the day,
I just love maybe Ten Hag to take a pick on a player. Like these players are like Caicedo last year. Didn't play loads of games for Brighton. I know he only came through halfway through the season. Didn't play an abundance of games, but he was just potential at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you got some ballers in the academy, like there are some decent ones there. And I know they haven't been exposed to men's football. And I suppose academy football is different to men's football, even in South America, right? Sometimes I wish it would taken that, like, what was the point of Zidane Iqbal if you're never going to play him? What was the point of keeping him in the squad? And now we got Isaac Hansen as well, another young baller, very much use it as an 8 or a 10. Very good Scandinavian player right there.
Norwegian.
Norwegian. And it's going to be the same thing into pre-season. Can you afford to use it? The Kobe Minor, what's going to happen to him next season? Is he going to get a chance? Minor, or is he just going to sit on the bench? Amad Diallo, I have questions. Palestri, is there any point of being him in the squad if you're going to keep choosing Alanga over him or somebody like that? Because Palestri showed more for me than he's done for a few of our wingers, Sancho in particular. So, that was a question.
Jarvis knows fair much about this young Hansen as well, because he's from Tromsø, Norway, where he's from. Yeah. But Alien Tanner is saying he's on the Fergie stand at the games. Everything plays very fluid football, so you can kind of agree what you're also saying. Big up Alien Tanner. I know you're a match-going fan as well. I know you got pressed for time, Cass. At the end of the day, which is coming down to the goalkeeping situation. Apparently, there's rumors going out that potentially De Gea has been offered big money to go to Saudi Arabia in the Sandball League. He does,
You just go. Leave.
The thing is, I always been De Gea in, but after I saw that Onana performance in Champions League, then I realized football has changed. You needed Onana was playing kind of like a CDM, but it's like that ball carrying skills that has on your face. It's just amazing. It's just providing the extra player.
Yeah, no, I agree. You gotta go. Just get me Diogo Costa. I don't know. Maybe look towards Manyan's unhappy at this situation. Might cost a bomb though. Onana as well. It might look towards Chelsea if Lukaku might be used as a swap deal there. Yeah, I need one of those keepers. It's like, unfortunately, De Gea is just in that. If De Gea was back in the 2000s era and everything, like just about 10 years, he would probably be the best keeper ever. Right. Best keeper ever that we've seen in the Premier League. But unfortunately, times caught up to him. And I can't lie, he's got bottle job mentality. He's a confidence man. I don't like that in a keeper. Every keeper needs confidence, but you got to think every time there's a final, why is De Gea always at fault? Like, typically always at fault when mate comes to break, whether it's a semi-final or a final. It's enough is enough. I've had enough of a lot of these players. Half of this squad needs to still get chopped. When the Qatar, if they do come in, half the squad really needs to go. If we're being totally honest, we need to breed a different type of squad.
Yeah, I agree, Cass. But the thing is, Ten Hag needs to be ruthless. We need to cut players like we can't be sentimental FC anymore. We got to cut players like De Gea, even Fred, McTominay, Henderson, all of those guys, and Maguire. I think maybe even Lindelof could be on the chopping block if we should be really ruthless. He's a good player, but if we aiming to be the best team in the world, we want to take back the treble. So then we have to be the best. You have to have world-class player in every position, even on the bench.
Yeah, to a degree. Like, look at City. Like, again, we always point towards Manchester City. Manchester City, just like, you know, the penultimate guide to how you should run football. They got a short squad, as in a small squad. And when they do play, they got, not all of them are world class on the bench, but they have at least 4 players they can call on that can make a difference or change the game.
Yeah.
You know, and we always talked about Man City. Like, it's just they did, as much as I hate to say it, man, they just run things correct. And whether you want to point out cheating scandals and that, hey, their fans don't give a crap no more. I'll live with one. You know, he said, I don't even care if it happened, because guess what? I've had the best memories ever. They don't care. Like, you can't beat them with anything. You know, empty had stuff, no parade, no fans. It's all boring. It's boring. It's salty jealous. It's salty and it's jealousy. We all wish we were in that position. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah. This basically truth where that Eintracht Frankfurt wants Lindelof. That was come out a report, and you know, Kim Min-jae, it's edging closer. I would say that I would love a Kim Min-jae, to be honest. That is a solid spine defense with a new goalkeeper. Football has changed. I mean, I agree what Jarvis is saying. I agree what you're saying there, Cass, as well. You know, we need to move forward. It's time to say goodbye sometime. Cut your losses. Been a loyal servant. You know, club legend for me, De Gea, whatever he's done for us. But we need to move forward as a club as well. There's a new dawn, right? You got to be, critics when critics do. Like, you know, you can't be player FC favorites anymore. You just got to look at, you know, it's a new dawn. Like, you know, shape the future, make it happen. You know, and we learn and develop as a fan base and a team. So big up. I know you got to go, probably, Cass. It's been a fantastic guest to have you on, Sheik Jassim. Thank you for sharing all your insights, and thank you for being on the show. For people that haven't, you know, where can people find you unless they don't stalk your mailbox, mate?
No, channel's never a foul. Going live in practically a few minutes or so with Daps. No, not Dappy from N-Dubs. Daps and a guy called Mo from Interworldwide. We always bring content every day. It'd be nice to see some new Man United faces in there. There's loads of different type of fans. If the content for you is it's not just Man United based. We literally all types of teams as well. But there's some good debates there. People have taken a liking to us, and there's quite a few of us subscribers that's in here right now. So if someone wants to post a link to Never a Foul and you want to go subscribe, go watch one of the recent shows, like yesterday perhaps, then yeah, man, feel free.
Big up. Because at the end of the day, what we do here on this channel as well is we collaborate. You know, we Man United fans, but we also football consumers. So please go check out the channel. We had Mo 2 times before on this channel, by the way, as well. Last time was Inter. How is he doing now? You know, is he suffering from PTSD after the?
He's all right. It's actually the first time since Mo and Daps has spoken with each other on live since the final.
Ooh,
so might be interesting,
guys.
Maybe.
Go and check out directly after the stream. I urge you, go to Never a Foul. Go check out Cass. Go check out Mo. Go check out Daps. It's a gas. I always enjoy watching you guys anyway, and I try to contribute as much as I can. Appreciate for having you on.
Nice one. Thanks.
Thank you for having your say, and I give you back the day.
Appreciate it. Cheers,
buddy. Cheers. See you. Guys, this has been Cass. Fantastic to have his insight. Really enjoyed having you on. This is kind of the first time. Kind of I dedicated this thumbnail title for Casemiro, but I hope you really enjoyed the community. I do apologize if we didn't have time to engage with you. It's been, I think it's about over 200 in the live chat. Sorry, you know, for all the members, big up to all of you. You know, Saragan, Simon Heron, you know, Martin is here. He talk about Sidan Iqbal. He wants to hear, you know, yes, true. I love Martin. I love Iqbal. 100%, and I think this season, in terms of preseason, it's time for the youngsters to step up a bit as well. I mean, we have exciting prospects. You know, we have, you know, Pelistri, 100%. We have Iqbals. You know, Charlie Savage has been out on loan as well. So we do have talent in the midfield as well. You know, what's going to happen with the Tunisian player? What's his name? Hannibal, right?
Hannibal.
As a number 10 rotational player.
I hope he goes on another loan. We haven't seen
Ahmad as well.
Him. Yeah, Ahmad. I would like to send both Zidane and Mainu on loan. Give them playing time because they're at the stage of their career and at their age they need to play ball. That's the only way to evolve their game. So and I don't think they will get any playing time under Ten Hag. But it's very exciting, the news with Isaac Hansen. He's been withdrawn from the under-19 World Cup Euros for Norway because
That's
Ten Hag
fantastic.
wants him to be in the preseason, and he's really good. So if you haven't checked him out, go to YouTube and search for Isaac Hansen. He's like a Norwegian Luka Modric. He's very tiny, small, but he's
we have a fan of you, Stutter King. I love this dog picture, Superman picture. It's like a mops. I love it. He wants to hear more from Jarvis on more streams. So yeah, we should do a Jarvis corner for sure. We should dedicate just Jarvis talking football. 100% we can do this. Guys, let us know what you want, the content. You want to see more of Jarvis. You had enough of me. Give me a red card in the VA room. I'll be disappearing. So Jarvis can take over, talk Jarvis football.
I'm too polite, Mick. I always let you guys talk. So
yeah.
But it was an interesting conversation, so I wouldn't interrupt.
He says thank you. You're welcome, Stutter King. It's the first time I see you in this community, guys. It's been a gas. We try to bring you different content every day. This one was more of an interview in depth. Yesterday we had John Shin. We're done with this takeover news. This is me being a fan, enjoying football, not just doing the takeover stuff. Hansen should get a loan too. I think Hansen should be given a shot in the preseason when you can actually assess the player and going to US, and he's going to be playing in Oslo as well, in Norway as well. So big up to all of you. Jarvis, any final words, guys? It's late your time. I think it's 11 o'clock your time in Norway, Jarvis. Sun is still shining.
Sun is still shining always.
This applause is for all of you that stood stayed with us for 1 hour, 150, 200, all of you stayed for 1 hour engaged. So big up to all of you. Guys, you are the real troopers. You're the realist army. I don't know. I don't even have a name. So come with suggestion what you want to call me. I call you VAR room anyway. So that's kind of thing. And Jarvis.
Therapy army.
Therapy army. You're going to therapy army now. You're going to appear with Mr. Nerdin right now. I'm going to take my dog walk. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Cookie's waiting. This is Cookie time, right? Cookie the dog. So this is what I'm going to do. But I want to say thank you to all of you for supporting us on the road. We wouldn't be here without you interacting with us. Love and peace. What you're saying there, Starter King as well. Sharagon is Alien Thano is the sun always shines on TV.
Oh, aha. Aha.
Yes. And even if you guys want to hear an old song from the 80s that relates to my memories of Manchester United, check out You're the Voice with John Farnham, Australian singer. You're the voice trying to understand it. Yeah. Superbra Jonathan från Sverige har det superbra. Detsamma också. Love, peace and bananas according to Jonathan Bond. I like that one. Bananas is good. I like bananas. But my favorite, what is your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit? I'm conservative. Apples.
Apples? Yeah, you are conservative. Guess what mine is? Coconut.
Pineapple. Yeah, coconut.
Bingo. My favorite fruit is actually pineapples. And if you go to Thailand, you have these baby pineapples. You can buy this. So super, super tasty. Guys, what's your favorite fruit? Let us know in the comments. Peaches, says GB. He likes peaches. And I love George Best. Brilliant podcast. Brilliant podcast. Big up for NG for moderating as well, for being a member. Guys, our membership is growing. I think the last time I checked, we were 30. 1 week ago, we were 0 almost, or 1 or 2. But guys, big up. Keep it coming. We will try to generate some membership content for you very, very soon. And Madhouse is saying split peach. Some people saying Stephanie likes strawberry. Is that with champagne? Well, you're going to pop eventually in a couple of days, Stephanie. So yeah, pomegranates. Yes, I love pomegranates. Pineapple or pink lady apples. Yo, those pink lady apples. Yo. Yeah. He headbutted Ronaldo in the game also. What? Who did? Pineapple? I don't know, man. Guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. Thank you for being our support. Thank you for being in the VR room. Mick, when you're going to get merch, need to put our t-shirt. How you
Need
give us...
merch, Mick.
Yeah, good idea.
T-shirts, caps.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. Another thing what I want to discuss to you, how do we create a chat community? Is that through Telegram, perhaps? I don't, because if you use WhatsApp, right, you don't see who is who. But if you use Telegram, you can see actually who's the user. Like, you know,
Discord.
let us know. I don't really get into Discord, but let us know. Come with suggestions, like, you know, how do you want to continue, like, you know, communicating in certain ways, because Facebook is died out. It's fizzed out. Nobody's using Facebook, I guess. Even if you are mango and pineapple, but that's what. Whoa, my man, Richie. I'm also mango and pineapple, by the way. So good night to all of you. Telegram will be awesome, Jay. Jay, let's do Telegram. Like, if you haven't used Telegram, it's amazing. It's really cool. Like, I'm kind of fresh new to Telegram, but you know. Andy Cooper saying, breaking news, heat wave alert. Please get your big useless fridge, Old Trafford. Harry Maguire 9% discount. That's
Nick,
it.
I just want to say something. I want to give a shout out to United Devil. He's been sending so many messages during the show, and
I'm sorry.
and
I'm totally.
And big up to him. He's a great supporter. So
thank you, United Devils. Sorry. When you're getting to, like, you know, so many in the chat room, you want to sort of contribute and just focus on your guests. Thank you. I didn't mean to neglect you. Next time in the VR, give me a red card, like, you know, Jarvis will take over. That's fine. So anyway, excellent show, Mick, Jarvis, VR room, all legends. You are all legends. Big up to all of you. That's what I want to finish up with. Guys, whatever what do we say, Jarvis? Thank you for having your say. We give you back today.
we give you back today.
Or evening, whatever you do. Stay beautiful to each other, people.
Yeah, and if you want to watch us later, just come back over to Nordin's channel. He's going live in about 20 minutes.
I'll be back. I gotta take Cookie out for a walk, and then I jump on Nordin's channel. But guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. If you're new to the channel, also become a member. There's a join button down there. Thank you, Jarvis, for all your support today. Thank you for showing us your magical window again. Can we do it again as a therapy?
We're done with that now.
We don't need it. All right, we're done with it.
Done.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Mick. Thank you, Mick, for providing this show and bringing great guests. It's good entertainment. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Stay beautiful. Have a good night wherever you are in the world. It's Mick Ruby, Jarvis Cocker. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.